All right, last topic, Tim. We'll try not to spend too much time on it. I got rapid fire, 4 different tweets to hit here. Big news broke today across the National Football League. Is one of the longest tenured. I think he's been in Baltimore for 18 years, and that's John Harbaugh. Breaking news. Fired from the Baltimore Ravens. Ian Rappaport put the tweet out. The Ravens and longtime decorated head coach John Harbaugh are parting ways after days of discussion, per the insiders. Major decision in Baltimore.
Hold on, I'm checking my watch, Clayton. Looks like about 5 minutes before he's hired somewhere else.
Yes. Completely agree. This dude he's going to have a head coaching job somewhere next year. This is a Super Bowl winning coach, right? Had a lot of success at the NFL level. You could tell his players respect the hell out of him, right? And I already see people in the chat throwing like, Daryl saying Texas native. Or maybe he's talking about Barron.
He's talking about Barron Sorrell, baby.
Yeah, that's a Texas guy, yeah. Right here, J. Cole says, I said the Raiders. So does he kind of looks like, don't he look like a Raider, Tim? Couldn't you just see him throwing a Raider in on there?
Why not? They already flipped the coin for the 5th time in the last 6 years with veteran head coaches that haven't worked out. Maybe Harbaugh is the answer in Vegas. You never know.
Yeah.
Vegas or Miami, you never know. Mr. McDaniel could be on the hot seat. You never know.
Chris the Casual Win says, hire him immediately for defense coach. If he did not get a head coaching job, I don't say I love Rich Bisciotti. You guys know I'm not a fire Rich Bisciotti guy. But this dude right here, this is a special teams coach at the core. If he didn't get a head coaching job offer, absolutely bring him in as a special teams coordinator. Tim, there's not a snowball's chance in hell that's happening, right?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not, right? And I think if you're a guy like Harbaugh, you're looking for that, right? I'm either going to be a head coach somewhere, or I'm just going to hang it up and retire, right?
Yeah. And here's the other thing. If he does get a head coaching offer and he's like, I don't want to do that, he may go coach with his brother, right? That could happen out in L.A. with the Chargers. I wouldn't put that past him, right? Make him his assistant head coach. And that would be a dream come true for those two brothers. So, you know what? Maybe he takes a year off. That happens a lot too. Maybe sometimes coaches go, I don't want a head coaching job right now. It's possible.
That with Big Mike. Big Mike did the same thing.
Right. Absolutely. So with that being said, I just threw a tweet out there. Jeff Hafley was reported to be likely candidate for the Giants job. This is seemingly good news for Packers fans. As Adam Schefter tweeted out, John Harbaugh is expected to emerge as the favorite for the head coaching job of the New York Football Giants. Harbaugh will be in demand for many teams, not just the Giants. This would be great news if the Giants threw the book at Harbaugh, Tim, because now, to me, the Giants is that job that I could see maybe Jeff Hafley taking a little bit less money in terms of other head coaching job offers because he's from that area. He's from the Jersey area, if I remember correctly, right? Hafley is. Right. So that was the job that was kind of linked to Hafley, and that's what I meant by how this could affect Jeff Hafley's decision moving forward, because if now he leapfrogs Hafley and other coaches as the top candidate for the Giants, maybe that's the domino we needed to fall to keep Hafley in Green Bay, although I think we would all agree Hafley isn't as hot a commodity as he was, early in the season with the defensive struggles here recently. But still, he gets an interview. He's going to crush that interview, and all bets are off, right? So what do you think about that, man, and how that kind of ties together with Hafley?
I just think with Coach Harbaugh, he's a proven head coach in the National Football League. And no disrespect to Coach Haf, but he's not. His head coaching experience is at Boston College. It's not in the NFL level. He's proven that he can be a coordinator at the NFL level. And to your point, I'm sure Coach Haf will get more than a handful of interviews for a head coaching vacancy in this league. But I do think that for Packer fans, that's good news. Hopefully the Giants hire John Harbaugh tomorrow as their head coach. And, that's one team we can check off the list for potential suitors for Jeff Hafley. I would think that would be the one thing that might separate those two, is just Harbaugh's record as a head coach in the league and the fact that Hafley has not been the head coach yet in the NFL.
Yeah, and Bates says, yes, Haf is a Jersey fella, so he did confirm that. Thank you so much, Bates. Coach Lynn said in the chat, I think we will get Hafley back. If I had to bet the farm on it, Coach, whether Hafley leaves or stays in Green Bay, I'm with you. I think Hafley's staying in Green Bay. That being said, I do think there's a slight chance that he's going to get interviews. I do believe that'll happen. He'll get coaching interviews, and he's going to crush those interviews. Now, they'll also look at what he's done with Green Bay's defense and go, they took kind of a step back this year. This guy's a hotter commodity here. You got a Super Bowl winning head coach in John Harbaugh. B-Flow is going to probably interview for a lot of teams as well. The defense coordinator in Minnesota. You've got the defense in Houston has been crushing. Their DC, right? Same thing with the Chargers. I think theirs is going to get Vance Joseph in Denver.
Have we heard anything about Raheem Morris? Has he been interviewing?
That's another thing. Raheem Morris was fired in Tampa, right? And they immediately said, they asked Matt LaFleur earlier today, have you been in contact with Raheem? You could tell he didn't want to say it, but he went, yeah, I've talked to him. And they said, is there a chance you bring him in? He said, we haven't had those discussions. So he kind of said it without saying it, but did he really say it? Or what did he say? So I wouldn't be surprised if you bring him in as an extra set of eyes throughout the playoffs, right? That would be a good move for sure. I'll tell you, this guy, though, could you imagine if Matt reached out to John Harbaugh and said, how much money would it take to have you come in and work with Rich Bisciotti on our special teams throughout the playoffs?
Here's the guy.
Boy, there you go. Well, what if somebody offers him a head coaching job before then? That could happen. But what if they didn't? What if they interview him and said, okay, let's let the smoke settle. Let's see what candidates are available. Why not having John Harbaugh come in throughout the playoffs?
Unless, like you said, the opportunity to coach with his brother, right? Be an assistant head coach or a coordinator. Yep.
Yeah. And his brother's still in the playoffs. They could win a ring together, so to speak, right? So I just love this time of year, man. The head coaching carousel, when that gets cranked up, both in college and the pros, it's just an exciting time. And it's really, really fun to see how the NFL is going to shape moving forward. So just a couple other tweets here from that. Adam Schefter tweeted out, in the first 45 minutes after John Harbaugh was fired this afternoon, Tim, this is what you were talking about. His agent, Brian Harlan, said he received calls from 7 NFL teams expressing interest in his client. There currently are 7 NFL head coaching openings, including Baltimore's. You do the math, Tim.
Not 1, but not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, but 7? Good Lord.
Right. Yeah, so again, man, he's going to have a head coaching job.
Yeah.
He is. Now,
I guess
will it happen?
Stop entertaining the other scenarios, right? It's either head coach or he's hanging it up.
Yeah, the fact that allegedly all 7 openings for NFL coaching jobs probably reached out to him tells me they want to hire him sooner rather than later, right? You've probably got 3 of the 7 that's willing to hire him right now. That might deter from the aforementioned him being maybe just an extra set of eyes in-house somewhere, right? So he'll probably get a head coaching job and, hey, let's get started right now, right? Go ahead and start put your coaching staff together. And I imagine a lot of those guys will come over from Baltimore with him, I would imagine.
See, that's the other end of the spectrum we haven't talked about, right? It's not just Harbaugh as a coaching candidate, but the staff that he's going to bring with him potentially.
Yeah. And here's a little bit more specifically some of the openings, right? Let's see if all 7 are there. They are. So Adam Schefter tweeted out, updated NFL landscape. Here are the head coaching openings, right? Ravens, Giants, Titans, Falcons, Cardinals, Browns, Raiders. Okay. Again, Ravens, Giants, Titans, Falcons, Cardinals, Browns, Raiders.
The Raiders.
United Bates says Morris has an interview scheduled with Tennessee this week. So Raheem Morris already getting a head coaching interview with the Tennessee Titans there. So
Jamie coming in hot with the info. I love it. Thank you, Bates.
Always. And then you got the GM openings, Tim. Dolphins and the Falcons, and John Eric Sullivan, I think, was already seeked out by either the Dolphins or the Falcons, maybe both. One of those 2 teams at a minimum have already reached out to one of our top executives within Goody's staff. John Eric Sullivan got multiple job interviews last year. Obviously, didn't get a job there in terms of general manager. He stayed with Green Bay, but he's kind of Goody's right-hand man, so to speak, right? So it's going to be interesting to see where he ends up. But, man, it's a fun time of year, Tim. We got the coaching carousel, the GM carousel cranking up. Just thought it'd be important to kind of hit that John Harbaugh news that came down the pike. And again, there's some fans that go, and you think Matt LaFleur ain't on the chopping block? Listen, John Harbaugh's a great coach. John Harbaugh is 36th all time with a 614 winning percentage. Matt LaFleur is 16th at 654. Now, John Harbaugh won a ring. Got it. Valid point there. When was the last time he won the Super Bowl? Can somebody tell me? I don't even know. It's been quite some time though, right? If I remember.
I'm sure Raiders fans were asking the same question about Pete Carroll as well as their head coach.
Yeah, definitely. Coach Lynn says in the chat, yeah, I'm worried about John Sullivan. Yeah, I think that's the thing too, though, Coach, is like he put together a playoff, or he helped put together another playoff team with the Packers with the youngest roster in the league, right? But I don't think people see the Packers right now as like, wow, these guys are dominant, right? I imagine they're probably going to teams like maybe the Patriots, maybe the Rams, maybe the Seahawks, probably looking to grab someone within the Seahawks organization, which shout out to Schneider, man. Schneider, who came up under Ted Thompson and obviously is the general manager for Seattle. Dude's done a hell of a job in Seattle, man. They won multiple Super Bowls under him, right? And now they flip that right back around again, and they're going to be competing for another Super Bowl here throughout the playoffs. We'll see how long they last. But, yeah, it's really, really interesting to kind of see everything unfold and where people are going to end up for sure. I am a little worried about John Eric Sullivan too, Coach, but I will try to remove my Packers bias. I think I would have other teams' executives in mind before John Eric Sullivan, just how the Packers have struggled a little bit with depth, right? And not that he wouldn't take a different approach, even though, we've seen Schneider do totally different things than what Ted Thompson done when he went to Seattle, right? So everybody's kind of
that would be the only point in bringing a guy like that in, right? Is if you want some kind of change, right? If you want it to be the same, then you're probably going to look elsewhere.
Yeah. J. Cole in the chat said, I'm not going to lie, I had that thought for a minute, Clayton. I was surprised Baltimore fired him. Yeah, it was a little bit, I don't know, man.
That was kind of crazy, right?
Yeah.
Do you think it was because Lamar walked off the field and threw his stuff at the Baltimore logo and was frustrated? Yeah,
right. Yeah, it could have been, and maybe that's the other thing is they just paid Lamar all this money. Like he's under contract. I think his cap hit is like 60 or 70 million next year, something crazy. So it's like, okay, you've got your franchise quarterback, right? We've ponied up the guaranteed money for him. We feel like we've put a good product out there for you, and you didn't get the job done. You look at somebody like Baltimore, and I can see how it's like, okay, yeah, man, we got to get over the hump. You didn't even make the playoffs, right? And then you go to Matt LaFleur, and again, I hate to keep coming back to it, but it is what it is. That's why I hate it when we're the youngest team every year. It's because it's like that excuse is there, And again, it's like somebody said the other day, it's not an excuse, it's a reason. That's the best way to explain that. Like, it's not an excuse. Matt LaFleur isn't going, but guys, I can't win because we're young. He never says that, right? He's saying no excuses. We need to get the job done. But I'm not going to ignore the fact that how hard it is to win a freaking Super Bowl when you got the youngest roster in the league. Like I said, you ain't got to be the third oldest, but let's add a little bit of veteran, a little bit more veteran into this team and
sprinkle them in a little bit here and there.
Yeah, right. Raise us rather than be the youngest team in the league, let's go to the fifth youngest team. Right.
We talked about that preseason. We were looking for that Drew Dahlman signing at center. I feel like that might have made an impact on our O-line play this year, I think.
Yeah, and I've seen a little bit of this on X as well, Packer Doug. Packer Doug says, the scuttlebutt is that Lamar had the ear of management and had issues with Harbaugh. I don't know. I've seen those rumors too. I'm with you. I don't know if there's any, validity to that, but I will say this. Typically when a coach gets let go like that and they keep the quarterback, I mean, think about what happened in Miami. They let the general manager go, right? Actually, no, it was B-Flow. It was their head coach, Brian Flores. Yeah. They let him go because him and Tua had problems. Well, they chose the quarterback.
They brought in McDaniel and kept their GM. Yeah.
Why did they choose the quarterback? Because they have more guaranteed money tied up in him, and they thought he's the future. That's the more valuable commodity than the head coach, and that really hasn't worked out for Miami. Right now, Tua's been benched. That's another one, Tim, we got to keep an eye on. Will he be back with Miami? There's going to be probably a huge dead cap number with Tua, but is that someone that could saturate the market a little bit in terms of quarterback free agents that might drive the value down a little bit on the league? If you had to choose, you had to give one of these two quarterbacks $40 million per year, would it be Malik Willis or Tua Tagovailoa? I think most people would say Malik, but I can also understand Tua earned that contract a couple years ago. It ain't
I
like
think if you ask Bama fans, they'd probably say,
I'm not going to, so quit asking.
Right. And then the other thing with Tua is the concussion issue, right? Like that's a real issue there as well in terms of the future. So, yeah, crazy. Yeah, and Packer Doug points out that's wild. Lamar near 30 years old, he's not getting any faster, right? If anything, he's going to start to slow down. Like we've seen Aaron. Now, Aaron was never as fast as Lamar. Don't take that the wrong way. But we've seen Aaron was able to evolve his game when he kind of lost the legs a little bit. Like, okay, now I'm going to manipulate the RPO game, his quick release, all that, which – man, how fun was it watching Aaron Rodgers the other night, man. Every time the defense let him down, every time special teams let him down, put the ball in A-Rod's hands, and he just took him right down the freaking field like a dog, dude. Did you see him embrace Mike Tomlin at the end where he said, man, thank you for bringing me here? And Tomlin said, hell, man, thank you for coming.
Thanks for coming, right?
Yeah. Absolutely awesome.
And great job by Aaron in that post-game interview with Melissa Stark, too. She was asking him about, retirement and all this stuff. And you could tell Aaron was trying to just soak that moment in. And I think what was telling, too, was when she asked him, how did it feel sitting there, watching Baltimore march down the field after you got your guys in the end zone? And Aaron was, typical Aaron Rodgers, said, it sucked. It sucked to watch that, watch them get into range. But what a great moment, man, to see, Mr. AR12, a.k.a. AR8 for now, before he goes into the Hall of Fame as a Packer. I will die on that hill. He's going into Canton as a Packer. But I think it's incredible. I love it.
Yeah, I love what Doug says here, NFL moment of the year, Clay. It's just so cool seeing him smile, seeing A-Rod smile, man, for sure. Yep. This made me smile, Tim. I don't know if you've seen this soundbite. We'll wrap up with this, but did you see this from Mike Tomlin? He was asked in the post-game presser, right? He said, I'll kind of play the audio. Hopefully you can hear it well enough. But the question essentially was, what happened if he had made the kick? Talking about Baltimore's kicker making the kick, and now Tomlin's out. I think what they were alluding to, would you be fired? Would you be out in Pittsburgh? Would you retire? Listen to Mike Tomlin. And again, this is the guy, one of my favorite quotes from Mike Tomlin was he said, if you're race sensitive, you're a racist. And I love that quote. Yep. Because what he was saying is, if you see race, if you see skin color, no matter if you're trying to, I don't like using this term, but people say the race card. If you're trying to use that for something, you're a racist as much as the person who is truly racist, right? I just love that he said that. If you're race sensitive, you're a racist. Why are we still looking at skin color, right? He has these little quotes, these little sayings that I'm just like, damn, I love that dude, man. I love the way he thinks, right? He's very witty. Listen to this one, guys. This took the cake for me. And if you can't hear it, I'll tell you what he says afterwards. Here we go.
Making that kick, season's over, comes to a screeching halt, and missing that kick and the winter going on.
You know how it is. If my aunt had male parts, she'd be my uncle. All right.
That was the end of the presser. We say aunt down here where I'm from, but he says, if my aunt had male parts, she'd be my uncle. Bro, Tim. It broke me up, man. I don't know. You got anything you want to add to that before we wrap? I don't know if I'm the only person that thought that was funny. I laughed out loud when he said it. My Steelers buddy, Worth, shout out to him. He's probably watching the show. He sent me the video of it. It was like, we were dying laughing, dude.
First of all, NFL royalty, Mike Tomlin, an absolute OG, a throwback to, the old school era, right? Took over for Bill Cowher and, has put together year upon year of excellent football there. In Pittsburgh. So yeah, I'm not going to say anything bad about Coach Tomlin. Arguably one of my favorite head coaches that hasn't coached for the Green Bay Packers for sure. So a lot of respect for him and, respect for anybody in that position when you're, under that kind of limelight and scrutiny and, people are taking every word that you say and, running it through a fine tooth comb. Coach Tomlin doesn't give a damn. He's going to call it like it is. He's going to say, what's real. And I think that's probably why him and Aaron get along so well, right?
Yes.
We all know Aaron's cut from that same cloth. And really, you look across that Steelers organization, there's a lot of guys like that have that same attitude. So it made perfect sense for those guys to link up. And, nothing but respect for Coach Mike Tomlin, for sure.
Yeah, and the chat reacting to that. J. Cole said they're going to try to cancel him, LOL. Good luck with that, man. Coach Tomlin don't care, man. That's what I love about him. He's like, you believe what you want to believe, I'll believe what I want to believe.
Yes. Tomlin will tell him just like Tupac LaFleur. He'll be like,
sit your butt outside.
That's exactly right. Oh, man. So, and then we'll wrap it up with Donnie Burr's comment. He says the Packers will win Saturday. Let's go, Donnie.
Let's go.
Love to see it.
I love that attitude. Let's put that, where's that picture of Ben Johnson's Stupid ass. Where is it? Oh, here it is. That's what he's going to look like on Saturday night. Let's go. I love it.
Yeah, and he already said, I mean, he kind of called his shot. We probably should have played that clip, but he basically he said they're planning on winning these next 4 or 5 games. They're going to win the damn Super Bowl. And it sounded to me like they're overlooking the Packers big time.
Yep,
so
big time. And what's Matt telling the boys? Matt's probably telling the boys, hey, 1-0. Let's go. Let's get down there. Let's get a dub. We'll worry about everything else after that. You know, we're not going to get ahead of our skis here. We're going to focus on what's right in front of us. So go Pack, go. 24-21 Packers. I don't do score predictions, but I'm doing one right now.
There it is. There it is. REI Reminder says Steelers versus Packers Super Bowl, man. I'm holding out hope. When they missed that kick the other night, I posted that video on X and I just put Packers Steelers Super Bowl back on, baby.
Let's go. We've been saying that since training camp, right? Let's go.
We're a long way from it, Tim, and we got to, listen, man, it's a grind, and this team's banged up, and all the things that we've talked about. It's going to be an uphill battle, but I'm excited.
Telling me there's a chance.
That's it. That's all you need, man. You got to take it to the dance. Let's go out there and dance, man. Let's cut a rug. So that being said, guys, that's it. We will be back tomorrow for PTA throughout the day. I should be able to do multiple streams tomorrow. So you'll be seeing us go live randomly. So make sure you hit subscribe and click the bell icon so you're notified when we do go live tomorrow. Also, if you're in here watching live right now, do us a big favor, man. Smash that like button, spin those laces. We greatly appreciate it. If you're watching on X, go to YouTube, type in Packers Total Access and sub to the channel there. I'm telling you, we appreciate you guys watching on X. We got a bunch of people, almost 400 people watching on X. However, you can't see the YouTube comments, right? And you can't comment on the YouTube comments. So if you're in YouTube, you can join the conversation in the YouTube chat, and it's a really, really cool dynamic. So make sure you guys are subbed to the channel that way as well. Tim, appreciate your time, buddy.
Thanks for having me, Clay. This was awesome.
All right, man. We'll see y'all tomorrow. My name's Clayton. That's Tim. This is PTA. Go Pack, go.
There we go.
All right.
Bye, guys.